Hello, it's another Talking Transfers. I'm back with Paul Gorst, who's the LFC correspondent at the Liverpool Echo. We're back in the Dovedale Towers. Thanks again to them as ever for housing us. And yeah, Paul, first of all, I want to start with the fact that the Reds are back, and after the sort of all the negativity around Sunday, lovely to cleanse the soul with some pictures of Virgil van Dijk and Trent running around.
Yeah, perfect kind of reintroduction, wasn't it? Liverpool obviously flown out to Austria on Sunday night. I'm not sure if they'd have had a chance to watch Jordan Henderson at the Euros final, or whether they were on a flight or what. But yeah, it was. I mean, the phony stuff's over now, isn't it? It was nice while it lasted, the Euros. We had a good couple of weeks, but the real stuff begins now. And yeah, looking forward to getting back into it. So Liverpool have got a few friendlies lined up in Austria and training in the Salzburg Alps, and it must be nice for them at the moment.
You'd expect transfers, not just at Liverpool, but across the Premier League to sort of kick in now as well. There was a little bit of activity before Euros, not least with Konate coming to Liverpool, of course. But generally speaking, when tournaments are going on, and not just the Euros, but the Copa America, of course, as well, clubs don't like to do too much. Players as well don't like the distractions. The Sancho one's a bit of a more of a rarity, really, for something like that size to sort of to go through. But now you'd expect, generally speaking, Premier League clubs to look to, okay, well, now we want to be moving.
Yeah, you're right, Andy. I mean, I think more often than not, national managers aren't too happy with players discussing talks with other clubs, and players are always focused anyway, aren't they? Because it's only 3 weeks out of your life, out of your career. Just sit tight and sort it all out when it's done and dusted. And the Sancho one was a bit of a rarity, wasn't it? For a deal of that size to be kind of announced during the Euros. But generally, players are getting their heads down, focusing on the training and the matches, and everything will resolve itself once it's finished, which is now. So yeah, we're expecting to see a few things happening, aren't we, across the Premier League over the next 6 or 7 weeks, up until the transfer window closes, and then we can crack on with the actual football side of things, which sometimes gets forgotten about at this time of year, doesn't it? But yeah, I'd certainly expect a few deals to kind of kick into overdrive in the next few weeks, certainly.
Well, let's talk about some likely ones then, or some possible ones anyway. I'll let you decide the likelihood. I'm going to come on to the midfielders, because obviously there's quite a lot of links there, but one new one, which is interesting to me, is Adama Traore, and there's a story in Football Insider that he might be available for a fairly low price, they think, and it's an interesting one to me, because Klopp is an admirer. He spoke out against him. He certainly, had an impact against Liverpool. Not a great season last year, but that might be the reason why his price might be a little bit lower. Yeah. And some of the fees talking. I mean, I'd be tempted. I don't know about Jürgen, but I certainly would.
Yeah, I would as well, actually. I mean, I see quite a lot of criticism of Adama Traore, but when I watch him play, I just think he's watching the same player. He attracts like 3 or 4 defenders every time. He's probably the quickest player in the Premier League. He's probably got a good shot of being the strongest player in the Premier League as well. And at times there can be a bit of a lack of an end product, but I think he was hamstrung by Raul Gibbons and that unfortunate skull fracture, wasn't he? Yeah. He had João Silva in his place. He'd looked like the student who'd just come down for 5-a-side at times, and looked a little bit overawed with Premier League football every week, if we're being honest. But if that is the going rate for an Adama Traore, 25 million now, when you look at some of the fees, I think Liverpool should be biting Wolves' hand off. Whether they will or not, I'm not sure. Wolves have got a bit of a long-standing interest in Divock Origi, going back a good couple of years now, and maybe that's something that Liverpool might be able to use as a bit of a bargaining chip. I don't know. Be interesting to see if there is any genuine legs in this one at this stage, and because I think that kind of profile of player, the Adama Traore, obviously 25, something along those lines. He's a player who can play across the front line, pace to burn, and I think that is probably more likely to be the profile that Liverpool are looking at. Similar to Jota last summer, coming in, can play a few positions, at a good age in his career, not quite the finished product, but can kind of take that next step at Liverpool. And I think that's someone, or a kind of profile that Liverpool will be looking at, rather than dare we say it, a Kylian Mbappe. The finished article coming in for an incredible amount of money, which Liverpool patently haven't got at this stage. So I would suggest that an Adama Traore link certainly seems a little bit more realistic than a Kylian Mbappe one at this point.
It's good. I mean, Mbappe's coming next summer, so that's fine. There's good relationship between the club as well, clubs as well, isn't there? Should I say? Obviously, you mentioned Jota there. He was another Wolves player, but we sold a couple there as well, and it seems like that's something that isn't a reason to buy someone, but it certainly helps in terms of getting a deal done. It
does, yeah. I mean, it's kind of an unspoken aspect of football negotiations that sometimes fans don't think about too much.
Hello Reds, thanks for watching a preview of our video there. If you want to watch the full thing, just click join below and you'll get the full video as well as the rest of our premium package, including all you need before and after every Liverpool game. We'll throw in a few perks too, including discounts at the Anfield Wrap shop. Get it! So click join, get involved, see you on the other side. Up the Reds.